Hey, we're back. This is John.
Hey, it's Paul.
And it's Eric.
And it's What If Geeks. We are here with Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 11 now? Chapter 11.
11 it is.
Yeah. The Heiress, right?
The Heiress, yes.
Yeah. So, give you a hint. So, for whatever disappointment I might have had in the episode before this, yeah, I'm good.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
Two, I also want to make a call back to some of our episodes where we talked about Mandalorian, where it could go and whatever. And did I call some of this shit? I called like half of what's going on in the season right now. So I'm pretty proud of myself, geek-wise. All right, who wants to get us started?
I'll do it. So we start off with a sleepy crew on their way to Trask, I think is the name of that. It was like a watery moon planet in some new system, Korriban or something like that.
Yeah,
Kolaban. I can't remember what the name was, but it's not that important. So they're on their way there. From the last episode, you remember the ship is basically fucked up and has little hope, and they get to the planet, and it's sort of like, okay, well, we're going to drop through the atmosphere now. Hold on. And I don't know if it was a throwback to well, not throwback, but if it was a reference to the ride at Disney or what. But at one point when they're falling down, he has her grab the shifter, the gear shifter, the throttle, whatever the hell it is, and says you got to hold it back. And I was reminded of how stupid the Millennium Falcon ride is at Disney, that two different people have to fly the ship at the same time. But hey, right. Maybe that's not what it was. But so they're burning through the atmosphere, and we get a look on the ground, and you see a Mon Calamari, and Mon Calamari, I don't even know how you say it. The squid people. It's a trap. And this guy's wearing like
Immediately when you saw him, did you say it's a trap?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And on top of that, the guy's wearing like a J.C. Penney sweater, which is freaking hilarious. What the fuck is going on?
Wearing like an old lighthouse keeper sweater, like an old.
It has like the patterns, like the ribbing and stuff on it.
Like a New England fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's exactly the theme they're going for here, was New England fishermen, for sure.
Oh yeah. Now, just a side note on that whole scene. This episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, who, we all love for many reasons, but or at least two. Sorry, Eric. Got him. But that scene with the Razor Crest coming down through the atmosphere as it's like engulfed in flames coming through the atmosphere. She said that was a nod to her father with Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she even tweeted that out. Like, yeah, I made a little nod to my dad with that movie.
Yeah, I totally didn't see that. So that's really kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't put two and two together until after I read about the tweet. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right.
That's very neat.
Cool.
It did look cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, moving on.
So they're crashing down, and Mando is trying. It's almost like it's something out of a video game. He's trying to land right on the little pad as best he can. He's coming down super hot, and he's waiting till the last second to hit the thrusters to sort of bring it up. And it looks pretty shitty, and people are watching. Like, they're not running though; they're just like, "Oh man, that's not gonna go well."
Yeah, and Control is telling him, "You got to slow down. You got to slow down."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, working on it.
So he hits the bottom and he hits the thrusters, and it starts to come up, and it looks like it's going to be okay. And then all of a sudden it just rolls off to the side and splashes in the water. And here we go. It's going to be time for him to replace the Razor Crest soon, I think. I don't know if he needs to get a Slave One or what, but something's got to give.
Yeah, they've had lots of things online about ships that he could get. I honestly think they'll just wind up repairing it, But I think he needs a new ship myself.
It'd be kind of cool if so there's a lot of like Rebels and Clone Wars references in here. It could be cool if he got a hold of like, even if it's just for a short time while the Razor Crest is going through an overhaul or something, he got a hold of like the Ghost or, some other ship we know from one of the series. I think that'd be really neat.
The Ghost is one of the ones I've seen like leading the votes.
We don't know what happened to the Ghost. It showed up in the Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
But it hadn't been seen before then until, I guess, probably...
It could have been him.
Yeah.
You never know.
Him, and it would be a cool way to sort of tie it in. Like, oh, Mando showed up at the final battle at Exegol, right?
Right.
It would be pretty neat.
It's also, it's becoming his signature thing, right? Like, it's becoming, right, the kit to his Michael Knight or something like that.
Yeah. I have the Lego set still I need to put together for display.
Yeah.
Definitely cool.
Yeah. So I hope he gets it fixed.
So once he does get out of the ship and they're up on the dock, Frog Lady finds her husband and it's a wonderful reunion.
Cool scene though. Did you notice the repurposed AT-AT, now a giant crane?
Yeah.
Like it looked like the bottom half of an AT-AT that they sort of, I don't know, managed to repurpose and use as a crane.
Yeah, that's what they get the Razor Crest out of the water with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the top half of it has been chopped off, and then it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
There's also other like the Quern and the Mon Calamari are both creatures we've seen in previous or humanoids, whatever. And then in this scene, we get a shot of Sasha Banks in the cloak. It's the same scene we saw in the trailer. And we all kind of thought, oh, maybe she's Sabine Wren or something. Now that's going to be trampled later in this episode, but you do still see her there. She's watching Mando. Obviously, they've got an eye on him. They know he's on the planet somehow. And then they end up taking a ship, right? They're taking a ship, a bunch of Quarren pirates, if they look like. It reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean or something. They're getting on the ship to go, I think, to go find the Mandos, right?
Yeah,
because the frog husband tells him, you need to go look over there to find him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And it was just like, okay, that was lame. But
there's a lovely scene where Frogman and Frog Lady do the slow mo, like, "Oh, I miss you," and they thank Mando and tell him where to go, and he goes in and orders some, I don't know, soup out of this weird hose that comes down.
Yeah, for the baby.
Yeah. And he says, so and so, I'll take you there. It'll cost you X, but you got to get on my ship.
So
they do a little thing where the baby's food attacks him.
Yeah.
Which it's funny, and I know there's not a lot for them to do with the child right now, but I mean, outside of him like saving Mando's ass a couple times. So it's definitely, he's got to be like the comedy relief.
Yeah.
But I think like the same thing over and over again is going to start to get old. Like he just keeps getting like stuck on his head and stuff,
Yeah. So the comedy relief, with him is just two things. One, it's food related. He's eating something he shouldn't, or something that doesn't fit in his mouth, or every once in a while, and they should do this more, he's doing something naughty, like waiting till Mando looks the other way and flipping the switch on the ship. Mm-hmm. They should probably do a little more of that and a little less of the other shit, but...
Right, I would agree.
But food is definitely a theme for the humor with the kid.
And it's starting to get like, if something dangerous happens, there has to be a scene where Mando drops him off, right? Like, he takes him to Frog Lady this time. He took him to... what's the... Amy Sedaris' character who fixes
Pelly something.
Pelly.
Yeah. They have to make a thing where like, okay, I need you to hold the kid. I got to go do something dangerous. I'll be back.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, that's the only time the show ever moves along.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's got to. So conveniently, he's got babysitting wherever he goes.
Right.
He does get lucky in that regard. Pelly Motto is her name.
Pelly Motto.
So they're on the ship with these squid-headed pirate fellas. And apparently they had intended to trick him the whole time. And they open up this grate on the ship, and there's this basically oh Jesus, I'm mind blanking. The desert things.
Almost like a sarlacc.
Yeah, it's almost like a sarlacc in the water.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. Jesus Christ.
It's essentially like a kraken.
Yeah,
But
well, it's like a little kraken though. At first, it's just a little baby.
I honestly kept waiting for that one Quarren that was talking to him to just be like, Jack Sparrow. He's on a ship. He's got a squid face. I'm like, dude,
go down to Davy Jones's locker.
Yeah, which is essentially what happens.
Which is essentially
what.
Well, I actually, I definitely wasn't surprised when he got knocked there. I did not expect the baby to get knocked in there and then eaten by that thing.
Apparently, it's called a mama core.
Yeah, mama core. Which is ironic because it had a baby inside of it for a minute. So Mando is in there. They close the thing on him, and he somehow it appears he's drowning. I'm not sure how though. Like he was inside the belly of a crate dragon for like 5 minutes, and he was fine.
Right.
You know, from what we know from all the like official canon stuff about Boba Fett, you know, he could breathe in that mask even when there was no oxygen. He had like an air supply in there. Maybe not all Mandos have that. I don't know. But I mean, it really felt like he was in that water struggling. And it made me think of one thing that's totally irrelevant, but I'm just curious anyway. If you have that much metal on you, aren't you fucking sinking to the bottom anyway? Like, how the hell can you hold up like that?
Beskar is very buoyant.
Apparently. It's as buoyant as styrofoam.
Jesus.
So, no luck there. He's not getting out. It looks dire. Of course, you know nothing bad's going to happen. But then all of a sudden, some Mandos fly in from nowhere, right? And save the day. And yep, behind John there, all three of them, I think, are familiar, but one of them was certainly Katie Sackhoff's character, and she's playing Bo-Katan, who she, of course, voiced in the Clone Wars and Rebels series.
Which I called.
Yeah.
I called that at season 1 when they showed the Darksaber. I said at some point she's going to be in this damn series.
Yeah, and her outfit is like on point. They got every piece of it sort of exactly like it is in the comics in the cartoon. It's really kind of cool. Even the little thing on the front. They're very elaborate with it. She does have two helpers at one point in Rebels that look a lot like these two, but you don't know who they are. So maybe he was mimicking that. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But she's got a man and a woman helper, and one of them is Sasha Banks's character, which we find out here. And they gave her a new name, and I don't honestly remember what the name was. It was in the credits. It wasn't in the show, I don't think.
Yeah, but is there a chance she's still Sabine Wren, just going by a different name?
No. In the credits, she's credited as some other character. I don't think it's supposed to be Sabine Wren. I mean, I guess you maybe
like took on a different name to hide or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but I mean, Bo-Katan didn't take on a different name, so what the hell? It's kind of weird.
True. Yeah, I'm just saying, just because like everyone said they
thought plays the character Casca Reeves.
Casca Reeves. Yep, that's it.
Well, like when everybody said they thought it was going to be her, the look fit. You know what I mean? Like,
well, because there was like the hair dye. You know, she does her hair in purple and other stuff. Yeah, that part of it.
I thought it was going to be a good fit for it, but I'm fine with it either way. I mean, she played a good character. Yet another person coming out of the woodwork to act.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I mean, it's not Sabine Wren's outfit that she's wearing. It's completely different. I don't think they're going to go that route with it. It's possible again, but I don't think so.
All right. Well, all right. So now they saved Mando, right? And here's another point that I brought up before. They kind of prove another point that I made is when they save him, they get him out of there, and immediately all three take their helmets off, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, "Whoa!"
So right away he's like, "Where'd you get the armor?" And Bo-Katan looks at one of the other ones like he's one of those.
I could not be.
Gave that
that
impression that I gave, where I'm like, maybe he's just part of a certain religious sect, and essentially he's a part of like a cult.
I could not be happier that thing is laid to rest now, because so many people are like, no, the other Mandalorians didn't wear helmets all the time. What is this? Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, he's all by himself. He's not with the other Mandalorians, okay? It's years later. Deal with it. Yep. So I'm really glad.
I thought it was cool, though, when they take their helmets off, there's this sort of depressurization noise. It's like sort of, yeah.
Yep.
Which is exactly why he should not have been drowning in that water.
That's what I'm about to say. I thought that shit was sealed, but whatever. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, I actually come to think of it, isn't there gas or something back in the village attack episode? And he's able to bear it because he's got the helmet? Am I confused? Maybe it's just smoke. I don't remember. In any case, he tells them he wants help. He wants to find the Jedi. And Bo-Katan's like, okay, but you need to help us first. We've got a little mission to do. And that mission is raiding this ship, this Imperial ship, which is apparently taking Beskar and weapons and other things back to the Empire from this planet, I guess. I don't know what they're doing on this planet, but that's what it seems like to me. Did I miss something with that?
No.
No.
It's a cargo ship running Imperial guns and shit for them. And she's adamant that they have to take this ship.
Yeah.
Find out later why.
Yeah, you guys, somebody else want to do it? Sorry, I've been talking the whole time.
So yeah, she says they have to. There's certain procedures leaving the harbor area. It's got to stay at a certain level for a while. We'll rocket up there. We'll get in there. We'll take our stuff back. It'll be good. Man was like, cool. I got to go drop the kid off. So he drops the kid off with Frog Lady. Comes back, and you see the Imperial ship take off. They jet up there. A couple of stormtroopers, and the male, I forget the male other Mando's character's name, but he says something about he asks how many people are on board, and he tells them, he goes, and they can't hit. I forget what he says, like something about how terrible a shot they are. Like
they couldn't hit the broadside of a bantha.
Yeah. And just that nod to like how terrible stormtroopers are with aim. But yeah, get up there. A couple guys on the outside thrown overboard. They get in, take down the ship. Essentially, it's sort of a slaughter of stormtroopers. They get to the point where they're essentially where all the cargo is, and Amanda's like, "All right, great, I'm done. Tell me where to go find these Jedi." It's like, "No, we're taking the whole ship." He's like, "This is not what I signed up for." She's like, "If you need my help, you need to finish this out." They end up getting through there's a cool scene where they sort of open the back hatch and it sucks everybody out. Mando does sort of he's like, "Cover me." He has two what look like grenades in his hand. He takes a couple shots, but he moves forward. Grenade to the rest of them. Stormtroopers. And then on the bridge, you see the captain of this little ship and two pilots is talking to Moff Gideon in hologram form.
Yep.
And so he tells them.
Did you guys recognize him, by the way?
I've seen the actor before, but I didn't. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, a ton of stuff. Yeah, his name's Titus Welliver, but yeah, he's been in a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, he was in something that because Heather recognized him too immediately. And
well, I mean, he was in Agents
Sons
of
Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. He was also in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a handful of episodes. He played Felix Blake. I'm trying to remember. He was in Shaft. He was like the special agent in Shaft.
Yeah,
he was in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Transformers, Age of Extinction.
Yeah, he was Jimmy in Sons of Anarchy. I think the Irish guy. So yeah, he's been in a lot of shit. That's where Heather recognized him from.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Moff Gideon tells him, can't let them have the ship. You know what to do. And so when the hologram
That was the funny
disappeared-
thing because he was calling Moff Gideon for help.
Yeah.
He says, "How far do they get?" He says, "They're practically at the control room or at the
Yeah,
cockpit."
we can't help you.
Like, too late. Sorry, you know what to do.
Yeah. So he shoots the two pilots, and he just starts the ship and do a nosedive. The Mandalorians breach the hull, breach the bridge, get in there, get him out, and Mando and what did I say her name was? Casca Reeves. Aren't they the two that managed to pull the ship up at the very last second?
Yep.
While Bo-Katan has the captain, like, where is he? Is it on board? Where is it? Because she's looking for the Darksaber.
Yeah.
He bites down on the Star Wars version of a
Cyanide pill.
Yeah, cyanide pill.
Yeah.
That like electrifies his mouth and he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they get the ship, he says like, "All right, tell me where the Jedi are." She sends him to I forget the name of the planet, but she says, "Go find Ahsoka Tano. Tell him Bo-Katan sent you, and you'll be good."
Yep. And I think that's about it.
Insane.
Yeah. And he goes back and gets the child back from Frog Lady.
Yeah, and miraculously, the kid has not eaten their baby.
Yeah.
So, and for
Yeah,
all-
he's
everyone
playing
knows-
with it, and he's actually sad to leave. He's like, "Oh."
Yeah, one of the tiny
God.
frogs actually is born, and they're playing with it in a bowl, and I thought he was going to try to eat it.
It was a last-minute,
For a
desperate
second, yeah.
attempt to make up for all the complaining that happened from the last episode.
Oh yeah, it had to be. They filmed that afterward. Saying quick.
Or they filmed it just in case and decided to cut in at the last minute.
See, he's not a complete monster.
Yeah, and then the Mon Calamari guy that Mando asked to fix his ship did some repairs. And he's like, "I gave you 1,000 credits. That's the best you can do."
He's like,
he's like, "Oh, I guess."
"It's a fucking
Go
trap,
in,
man. What can I
and
tell you?"
Yeah. There's like seaweed and ropes and all kinds of mess inside the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the shit holding it together.
Yeah. And then there's some kind of crawling, like, I don't know, crab thing.
Yeah, that thing is weird. Half squid, half crab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
cracking.
is about to jump down on the child, and Mando grabs it, and then later you see the shot goes over to him, and he's got like one tentacle hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah, he slips it down.
Yeah.
And giggles. I gotta admit, the giggles are cute, but yeah, they gotta. Hopefully, they work a little bit better on what they do with the humor with this kid, because he's gonna grow old on people real fast.
Right.
And then, then that's it, right? He's on his way to go look for Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, and the place she tells him to go is Corrivan. Corvus. Forest Planet Corvus. That's what she says.
Yeah.
Corvus. There's a city she names. I think it sounds something like that. Caladan, something.
That'll work.
So he's going to find Ahsoka Tano, who we know is in this and is most likely played by.
Rosario Dawson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope this is not the last we see of Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan.
No, I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Just like the same, like I don't think it's gonna be the last to see of Boba Fett.
Right.
At some point, that arm is going back to him. I don't know why he'd go back to Tatooine at this point, but
Hey, it's his second time already. I don't know.
yeah.
It's also like the most iconic planet in Star Wars. So.
True. Yeah, they'll find another reason to go there. But it was an awesome episode.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, and they definitely established something important here. I'm just going to reiterate. I know we kind of talked about it, but when when they take their helmets off on that one scene, and he says to them, like, "What the hell are you doing? That's not the way." She looks at the other guy, Axe or whatever the hell his name is, and says, "He's a child of the Watch," which sort of like gives you the thing. Like, so presumably she's talking about the Death Watch, who we saw rescue him as a kid.
Right.
Yes.
But they must have started some like religious zealot cult thing outside of the rest of Mandalore.
She kind of explains some of that to him. That, like,
Does she?
those are like the old ways or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're basically taking on like the very old ways of Mandalore. That's what she says right away. Like she gives him a look like kind of like, we give.
He's one of those.
Yeah, like we give like some religious nuts, like, oh, he's one of
Yeah.
those. And she smirks.
It's like Hasidic Jews or something like that, like real old school or the Amish or something. Like he's Amish.
Yeah.
And she never mentions to him like I was the rightful ruler of Mandalore or anything, right? She doesn't say shit. Just like he's one of those guys. What the fuck ever.
Yeah, you would have thought with someone who's like trying to rebuild the Mandalore army and get the Darksaber back. But who knows? Maybe she's embarrassed that she lost it. And that's another reason why I know we're going to see her, because I'm sure they're going to do a flashback. But
yeah, I have no doubt.
Can we talk about something else that's going around the internet? Is how old she is.
I don't see the problem. So
looks her age.
Well, so if you think about it, like, so we don't actually know how old Bo-Katan is, but in the Clone Wars time frame, she was could have been early 20s, maybe as young as late teens. Now we're fast forward into, we don't know exactly, but 9 or 10 ABY at this point. So that means that she should be somewhere between like mid 40s and early 50s.
Yeah.
Just roughly, right? Now, Katie Sackhoff is 40, so it's not really that far off.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but I mean, for movie, for an alternate universe, who gives a shit? People are acting like she should be 80 or something. No, she should be 80 in The Rise of Skywalker. That's not where we are right now.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, I saw that all over the internet about how she aged so well, and I'm like, she's not that old. Because especially like one of the screenshots they showed from the cartoon, she looks really young.
Yeah.
So like you said, like
I mean, they never say an age, but I mean, she could be like 18 for all we know at that point.
Yeah, because that's about what she looks like. She looks like a kid in armor in the one shot that I saw. So again, I really didn't watch much of the cartoons. I got to go back and watch a lot of them, especially now that we're really delving into it. But yeah.
So when do you think Ahsoka Tano is making her appearance here? Do you think it's next episode? Do you think it's down the road somewhere?
This was 3, so we only have 5 left.
3, there's 5 left. I'm going to throw out a prediction because Dave Filoni is only directing a single episode this season, and he is effectively the creator of Ahsoka Tano, and that's episode 5 that he's directing.
I was about to say 5, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the appearance. That's my guess, anyway.
Yeah. So next week or this Friday, we'll probably have another Monster of the Week kind of thing.
Yeah.
While he's on his way there, he'll get some more info. Maybe run into somebody. He'll probably wind up getting together with Cara Dune and Grief. I think they're probably coming now, and then he'll put the band back together for a little while, and then he'll go up to Ahsoka Tano.
So interesting point here. Last season, nobody directed more than 2 episodes for the whole thing. Everybody got 1 or 2, right? This season, it's way the opposite direction. Jon Favreau is directing 6 out of the 8 episodes, I think. Yeah, 6 out of the 8 episodes. And Filoni has 1, which is 5, and Rick Famuyiwa has 1, which is 7. And that's it. Oh, and Bryce Dallas Howard had 1, actually. So it's 3. It's 3, sorry. Yeah. So I guess we'll see how things pan out with this. I thought Carl Weathers was going to have an episode.
I did too.
I thought he was directing one. Yeah.
I actually got to look at that.
Season 3. Well, while you're looking it up, something else I wanted to bring up. Now, with everything that he's doing, running into more and more Mandalorians taking off their helmet. Running into some Marshal and then Mandalorians taking their helmets off. Right. All the internet shit that happened right before this thing launched with them talking about Pedro Pascal wanting to leave the set because he wanted more time with his helmet off and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
You think maybe some of that was just a lot of internet bullshit, and maybe he did blow up a little bit, but not really because it's coming that way?
I always kind of assume that. I have no idea.
Yeah, like as you're watching this, it looks like they're going that direction anyway. So I'm honestly starting to think that it was a lot of internet bullshit and it never really happened that way. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Anything on Carl Weathers?
Yeah, I'm actually having trouble finding it. So
Bueller.
Guess we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
you know what? I think never mind what I said. There's quite a few directors this season. I don't know which are directing which, but I just remembered we had Peyton Reed directed the last episode because we had the Ant-Man thing.
Yeah.
So that's that. And I'm sure I read Carl Weathers was going to direct one, so I don't know which one it is. But I'm having trouble finding the list.
We'll see Grief Karga. He's directing himself.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is.
Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4 is directed by Carl Weathers, so next week.
Next week. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, that means Carl Weathers and Cara Dune are coming back next episode somehow. Is that what that means?
Yep. Called it. Nailed it. God, I'm getting good at this.
There's a so cancel culture is this super annoying thing that I hate, but there's a bunch of people trying to get Gina Carano fired from the Mandalorian because she's sort of anti-mask and seemingly I don't know if she's pro-Trump.
I don't know about pro-Trump. She's
sort of
really
questioning. I don't know.
More right-wing conservative type of stuff.
But she's a little bit right-wing, and she's questioned, the efficacy of masks and a bunch of stuff. And cool, like, great. It's a free country, right? I think. Unless you're in Hollywood, unless you're in Hollywood, and then it isn't.
Yeah. Unfortunately, free speech it also protects people that think differently than you.
Right. But so I hope look, I hope none of that works, and they don't fire Gina Carano. She's great.
Yeah, I really doubt it. They're gonna have a hard time, but they're gonna fire her over political beliefs.
Right.
She has yet to sort of say anything that's like off the rails. Although after she started getting harassed about that cancel culture stuff, she posted a little, I don't know what movie it was from, old movie, black and white, and this guy's saying like, don't worry about what all those other fucking people are saying. It's just you and me right now.
Yeah.
She just likes to taunt people.
Yeah.
I feel like. They call her out on the why don't you have pronouns on your bio, and then she put beep bop boop at the end of it. Like she just likes to torment. You know what I mean? It's just like
the worst part though is like it's a bunch of trolls that if any of those people ever met her in real life, they'd be absolutely tongue tied and would be like, "Oh, can we take a picture? You're so great."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's the keyboard warriors. They're great.
I doubt anything will come of it. She seems clever enough not to dig herself a hole that would allow Disney to fire her, right?
Yeah.
Like anything now would be like wrongful termination kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to fire me over that? Really?
Yeah. But I do respect the fact that she doesn't bite her tongue, and she will at least fight back a little bit because it's what they need. Sorry, cancel culture needs to be put in their place a little bit.
It needs to be canceled.
Yeah, needs to be canceled.
Cancel culture. Hashtag cancel.
All right. So is that everything for this episode?
I think so.
All right, we're headed off to see Ahsoka Tano soon. 2 episodes. Side note: on the 17th of November, Disney Plus dropped the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh shit! I
saw that they did, but I didn't watch it.
Which is the anniversary of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they dropped it. So I will be watching that tomorrow night.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch that.
I need to watch it too.
Yeah. So I'm sure maybe we can squeeze in a review of that next week when we review Chapter 12.
All right, give it a shot.
We'll have to squeeze in a little review of that. It looks amazing. But yeah, so that's it. Everybody go check that out and check out everything else on our channel that we're not getting out to you. It's eventually coming. Sorry. That's it. Yeah, so I guess for now we will get back on chapter 12 and talk about that and figure out what's going on after that. We'll be halfway through the season.
Man.
Yay. So, all right. Well, that's it, people. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Like, subscribe, ring a bell. Hit us up at Facebook.com. Jesus. Good night. Good night. Hit us up at whatifgeeks.com, whatifgeeks@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that happy shit. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Mon Calamari. It's a trap.
Good night, Koska Reeves.